Hello, dear students of the third prep grade, and welcome to a new episode of our program. This is our weekly episode of science, and on this episode, we'll be having a general review on everything you studied during this semester. We have a lot to do on this episode, and we'll also be receiving your phone calls on our phone number 257-56187. So if you've got any question anytime throughout the episode, do give us a call. Now let me first welcome our guest teacher, Mr. Muhammad Mahmoud. Hello, Mr. Muhammad, and welcome to the program.
Hello, Yasser. Thank you.
I've got lots of questions for you today, and we've also been sent some questions on our group, and I'll be giving you a lot of questions. So
I hope
you
so.
Ready?
Yes, I am. I'm ready, yes.
As usual. Mr. Muhammad, how are you, first of all?
Thank you.
I'm
fine.
Let me begin by a question which is about give reasons for.
Yes.
Okay.
Give reason for.
Yeah.
Yes.
It says learning to walk.
Learning.
To walk for children is not considered a genetic trait.
يعني learning to walk is
not considered
a
genetic trait.
A genetic
trait.
Traits. Yes. Here we talk about what trait? We talk about the genetic traits, and we have genetic and يعني which means transmitted from one generation to another.
Yeah.
So learning to walk here is not considered as genetic traits because this trait can't be transmitted from one generation to another. This is the first question, which means learning of to walk or reading, writing, any talent in your life, like reading language or any question like that, not a genetic, because we have genetic trait and we have acquired trait, which means not transmitted from one generation to another. You have another question or something like that?
Of course, I've got loads of questions.
Yes.
All right, the second one says red precipitate is formed on adding of magnesium to copper sulfate solution.
Red precipitate is formed?
Yeah, it's formed.
Yes.
On adding of magnesium to copper sulfate solution.
Magnesium to copper sulfate
solution. Can you zoom in a little bit? Or
yes, I hope so.
All right.
So here we have to mention the concept of this chemical equation or this chemical reaction. Firstly, we have a simple substitution reaction, and we have in this case, element can replace another element in its compound according to the chemical activity series, as we studied before in second prep and as we study in this year in unit 1. We have chemical activity series as arranging of metals in descending order to know or according to their chemical activity in descending order. So here the answer of this question, أقول له هنا هوت, as we see.
Change the paper, please.
Yes.
Change the paper and try to write in the center.
Because magnesium replaces copper in its salt. يبقى المغنيسيوم replaces the copper, يعني حل مكانه دخل مكانه. As we see in this chemical equation, as we can see, we can write magnesium plus copper sulfate like that, and we know magnesium can replaces what? Copper. يطلع يعدي أو يخش مكانه, replaces copper. So we have here MgSO4 plus what? Plus Cu as copper as red precipitate, which means راسب لونه أحمر. Okay, you have another one?
Yeah, it says by increasing the temperature, the speed of chemical reaction increases.
By increasing?
Yeah, the temperature, the speed of chemical reaction increases.
Okay, by increasing temperature, the speed of reaction of chemical reaction?
Yeah, increases.
By increasing temperature, the speed of reaction increases. So here, why? We can see, or we can say here, due to the increasing in the number of collisions between what? Between molecules. Between what? Between molecules. Okay?
Yeah.
So here, dear students, we have many factors affecting the speed of chemical reaction. We have surface area, we have temperature, we have type of bond here, we have catalyst as a fourth factor affecting the speed of chemical reaction. As we studied before in lesson 2 in unit 1, we have to know if the temperature increase, the speed of chemical reaction increase because the number of collisions between molecules will increase. If the surface area increase, which means we use fillings as powder of iron or nickel in any chemical reaction, instead of بدلا من piece of iron or piece of nickel. Why? Because the surface area in case of fillings or case of turning, the surface area increase, so the speed of chemical reaction increase. Why? Because the number of collisions between molecules will increase also. Okay.
Yeah, all right. This question is from Marwa Gamal Kamal.
Marwa Kamal.
Marwa Gamal Kamal.
Marwa Gamal Kamal.
Okay. She says, give reasons.
Give reason, yes.
Project of Genome
Yes.
has an important role in the world of crime.
Project of Genome
Has an important role in the world of crime.
has an important role in
The world of crime.
the world of crime. Why? Because the project of Genome is started, I think, from 10 years till now. We can make a map of traits, of human traits. Map, genome, which means what? Map of human traits. خريطة للصفات البشرية. So we have about from 60,000 to 80,000 traits in human. 60 ل 80 ألف صفة. So project of genome has an important role in the world of crime, عالم الجريمة. أقول له definition of genome because it makes a map, خريطة of human traits. Human traits. خريطة لصفات الإنسان as human traits as we see here in this question. Okay.
Yeah, okay. This question is in Arabic, all right?
Yes, I think
you can use-
Marwa can understand completely this question
Yeah.
about the genome in World of Crime completely.
Yeah,
Okay.
Marwa has another question, by the way. Marwa Gamal has
Yes.
another question. She says, give reasons for.
Give reason for, yes.
Yeah. People live in coastal regions,
Yes.
or people living in coastal regions will not suffer from the simple goiter.
So here we can make a focus on not أو has no simple goiter. ما عندهمش مرض simple goiter أو الجويتر البسيط على فكرة هو اسمه بالعربي كده برضه. Why? Because these people has no deficiency ما عندهمش نقص in what? In iodine elements أو element in food products. Because the main reason to suffer from the simple goiter as a disease here because أو due to the lack أو deficiency نقص in iodine in food products. So they have no like Alexandria, إسماعيلية, العريش, مرسى مطروح, الغردقة, any coastal region منطقة ساحلية has no, or the people in this region has no any reason to suffer or to infect with simple goiter. Okay?
Yeah, okay. This question is in Arabic.
Yes, بالعربي. تمام.
سؤال من عبده سميح. هنقوله بالعربي، ممكن حضرتك تقوله بالانجلش برضه لمدارس اللغات.
تمام.
السؤال بيقول يتم توصيل الاميتر في الدائرة الكهربية على التوالي بينما يتم توصيل الفولتميتر في الدائرة الكهربية على التوازي.
تمام. يبقى here we can differentiate between the two connection of the two devices. Here we have ammeter and voltmeter. Ammeter used to measure what? الاميتر بنقيس بيه ايه؟ انا بقوله بالعربي وبالانجلش. Ammeter is used to measure the electric current intensity. So we connect ammeter in series connection بنوصله على التوالي to measure عشان نقيس the electric current intensity أو شدة التيار الكهربي. To measure the electric current intensity. At the same time we connect voltmeter in parallel connection يعني على التوازي with the electric circuit to measure what? أقول له to measure the potential difference اللي هو فرق الجهد. To measure the potential difference يبقى الفولتميتر measure the potential difference أو بيقيس فرق الجهد و the electric أو the ammeter here in this electric circuit used to measure the electric current intensity أو شدة التيار الكهربي.
اوكي ده كان سؤال عبده سميح. معانا محمد من القاهرة. Hello محمد, how are you?
I am fine, thank you.
Okay, Muhammad, do you have any questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi Muhammad.
I'm fine, how are you, mister?
Fine, thank you. Your question, Muhammad.
The hereditary traits
Hereditary traits
are transferred
Are transferred?
yes, I'm with you.
from parents to their offsprings
Yes.
by gametes or genes or reproduction. And the same
Choose.
question.
Here you have choose or give reason.
No, this is choose.
Yes.
And the same question, but instead of by, we'll put through.
Through. Okay.
And the same question, but through dash process.
Okay. So here we have what? We have the genetic traits transfer from both parents by fertilization as we studied before in first term. Okay,
Yeah.
Muhammad? So these traits الصفات دي transfer from one generation to another by gametes. By what?
By gamete.
By gametes from parents to the offspring, male and female together.
طب امتى اقول genes؟
Genes through genes or these that represent any trait is represented by two factors, which means by two genes. By two genes, one from male and one other from female. According to dominant and the recessive trait, the trait appears or doesn't appear is not a problem in this question. مفيش مشكلة في الquestion كده من الناحية دي. You have another one?
يعني through هتبقى genes وباي هتبقى gametes.
مين اللي شالها؟ مين اللي وداها؟ الجاميتس.
الجامت.
اللي هو السبرم أو ovum in male and female and through the genes.
وthrough dash process هيبقى reproduction.
Reproduction process, yes. As we studied in first term and in second term.
ماشي شكرا يا مستر.
Muhammad, you have another question?
No thanks.
All
You are welcome every time.
Okay, thank you very much, Muhammad. And now let us go back to our questions.
Okay.
We've got a question from Sama Morgan. All right, Sama بتقول in the following two circuits, calculate the reading of the ammeter.
Okay.
We have two closed
circuits, yes.
Yeah.
Closed circuits,
Yeah.
yes.
All right, one has 3 volts.
Parallel or series? Beside each other?
Yeah,
Like that.
Next to each other, yeah.
Yes, next to parallel.
Yeah.
Which means yes. So here we have two electric cells like that.
Yeah.
Each one of them has 3 volts. Yes. 3 volts. Okay.
Yeah, and 10 ohm.
10 ohm, the
Each.
resistance.
Yeah.
And you say this circuit is closed.
I don't know. Look here. It's this one is. I guess it's open here.
Yes. No. There's
It's
electric cell
Yeah.
here, battery here.
Yeah. Okay.
And the reading of ammeter here.
Yeah.
You need the reading of ammeter. هنا 10 ohms. Okay?
Yeah.
طيب بصوا بقى معايا in this figure. How can we
There's another one.
Yes, okay. And in the first one, ammeter reading, how many? Here we have what? We have a resistance equal 10 ohms, okay? But at the same time, the electric circuit is what? Is closed here. Electric circuit is closed. So we can't measure what? We can't measure the electromotive force. Here, electromotive force of in this battery. تمام؟ نكتبها تاني. Electromotive force in this battery is what? Equal 0. Why? Because the electric circuit is what? Is closed. And we know electromotive force, it is a potential difference between the two poles of any electric cells when the electric circuit is opened, not closed. So the ammeter reading هنا has no ammeter reading because the electric circuit is what? Is closed.
Okay.
And we have another one.
We have another one from Sama Morgan من الجيزة. All right, so are we done with this now?
Yes, yes.
All right, she has another question.
Yes.
All right,
Sama
which says Sama Morgan, yeah.
Yes.
Just give reason.
Give reason for.
Yeah. Uranium is one of radioactive elements.
Okay. Any question depends on radioactive elements. Radioactive element. Uranium, plutonium, zirconium, selenium, any element from the cesium, for example, are radioactive element, although because this element or these elements carry neutrons. Carry what? Neutrons in their nuclei more than normal limit. So they produce a radiation. So again, any question depends on the radioactive element. Give reason for. Here we talk about why this element is radioactive. اشمعنى؟ because it carries neutrons more than normal limit in its nucleus. شايل نيوترونز اكتر من اللازم في النيوكليوس بتاعته. Okay.
Yeah. Another question also from Sama Morgan. She's very active, and she says, mention 2 precautions needed on dealing with radioactive wastes.
If you want to deal with any radioactive wastes, the radioactive wastes produce radiation. So we have 2 main precautions here. يعني احتياطات أو تحذيرات from the dealing with radioactive wastes. How come? By wearing the suitable protective suits بدل خاصة and gloves and masks. يبقى we have 3 precautions here to deal directly عشان شخص أو any person to deal with radioactive elements. Just we have number 1, wear protective gloves, protective suit and protective mask. And we have another precaution to cool down the radioactive waste before we bury them. قبل ما ندفنها لازم to cool down by water. نبردها الأول before we bury this radioactive wastes.
Yeah, okay, Sama Morgan has another. Give reason for pancreas is a double function gland.
Okay, the pancreas here is a double function gland. Pancreas is a double function gland. Why? Pancreas do 2 different functions. Pancreas, number 1, do a digested function أو digestive function. بيعمل وظيفة هضم البنكرياس. Why? Because it secretes a digestive enzymes. بيطلع digestive enzymes. يبقى دي أول function بتاعته. يبقى البنكرياس عمل function. The second function of pancreas, it what? It produces 2 hormones. Insulin hormone and glucagon hormone to control the level of sugar in blood. يبقى البنكرياس do double functions. Number 1, digestion by digestive enzymes. Number 2, control the level of sugar in blood by glucagon hormone and insulin hormone.
Yeah, one last question from Sama Morgan من الجيزة. بيقول from the opposite figure answer the following questions. All right, what's the genetic structure of the pods of a pea plant in the first generation? What is the number of the plants which are symbolized by double G capital, GG, in the first generation.
According to pod or seeds. We have in your figure pods or
It says
seeds.
what's the genetic structure of the pods
Yes,
of a
pods.
pea plant.
Okay, so if we talk about pods here, in seeds completely different than pods. Okay, in pods, green pod is dominant over the yellow pod. Green pod in pea plant في البسلة. Green pod is dominant over the yellow pod. But in seeds, yellow seeds is dominant over the green seeds. So if we have green pure pod and G capital with G small, which means yellow pod, the first generation completely green pod, and in second generation we have ratio 3 green pod to 1 yellow pod, because green pod is dominant over yellow pod is recessive.
Yeah,
Okay.
it says what is the number of the plants which are symbolized by G capital in the first generation?
G capital here, which means green pod and pure, because it is a dominant trait, and dominant trait may appear if the gene is pure or hybrid. But recessive trait is or appears only if the gene is pure، لو الجين كان نقي فقط، لأنها صفة متنحية أو ضعيفة زي ما بيقولوا.
Which trait is dominant and which is recessive?
As we said before, dominant trait is green pod and yellow is recessive trait in pea plant. And we have opposite case, yellow seed is dominant over the green seed in the pea plant. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Which is the number, or what is the number of plants which are symbolized by double G capital and G capital G small? Have we done? Okay.
Yes.
Mention the number of each type in the second generation. Are we done with this question?
3 to 1.
Okay. And we've got Ahmed from Qina on the phone.
Our regular caller.
Yeah.
Ahmed, yes.
Ahmed, how are you?
الحمد لله.
أنا عارف إنك أنت زعلان مننا.
لا ليه؟
انت قلت لنا حاجه كده، انت عايز زياده حلقات تقريبا، صح؟
لا والله الامر مش كده، الامر وما فيه حضرتك ان حلقات الماس بقى في كذا حلقه ما اتعملوش في الاسابيع اللي فاتت، واحنا بنعتمد على القناه بالدرجه الاولى، يعني الامر يهم مصلحتنا، والامر مش هيجي.
انت عايز زياده في حلقات الماس؟
لا يعني زياده حلقات الماس، والحلقات اللي ما اتعملتش تتعوض.
لغات.
لغات يا ريت.
تمام. طيب ان شاء الله، يعني اديك قلت اللي انت عايز تقوله على الهوا. وعندك اي اسئله in science؟
3 questions.
طيب.
اوكي.
عامة بص يا احمد، يعني المخرج بيقول لك ان في حلقات مكثفه ان شاء الله في الفتره الجايه، فما تقلقش ان شاء الله هيكون في مساحه اكتر، خاصه بعد ما الشهاده الابتدائيه خلصوا هتاخدوا انتوا وقتهم بقى. تمام كده؟
ماشي. اوكي.
ماشي. اوكي.
How are you أحمد؟ هو عنده 3 questions. هو قال إنه عنده 3 questions.
أحمد, are you there? طيب, I guess we got disconnected. Try to call us once again.
I hope Ahmed call us again. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now let's move to another question.
We have no questions till now from the page. The students.
Yeah, we just got one, but until I prepare it, let's have this question. Give reason for.
Give reason for.
Yeah. Alternating current is preferred than direct current.
Alternating
current is preferred to direct current.
Is
preferred to direct current.
To direct.
Let's see if Omnia can answer this question. Okay.
Omnia. Okay.
Hello.
Hello Omnia, how are you?
Hello, ازيك يا مستر، عامل ايه؟
الحمد لله، انتي عاملة ايه؟
كويس الحمد لله.
عندك أي أسئلة؟
ممكن لما أجاوب السؤال ده أقول السؤال بتاعي.
اوكي يلا يا أمنية، احنا معاكي سامعينك.
Because the alternating current can be transferred to long distance and can be converted into direct current.
Yes.
تمام.
Okay, long distance, yes, excellent, and can be transferred.
Can be transmitted into direct current.
تمام.
Okay, أمنية إيه رأيك في
sorry Mr. S, and at the same time we can say because alternating current has variable intensity
and variable direction.
Direction, yes. You have a question? Yes.
كان سؤال من كتاب مدرسة بيقول لي draw a diagram.
Diagram, yes.
That show the feedback mechanism.
Feedback mechanism. Yes.
Of the human blood sugar.
Human blood sugar, yes. So according to increasing and decreasing from, so we depend here about on what glands? We depend on what gland here?
اللي هو pancreas.
Yes, excellent, on pancreas. So how can we draw a figure? طيب بصي معايا on your screen at your home. بصي على الشاشة كده. We have here number 1. هكتب له كده glucose increase. شايفاها؟ So اقول له pancreas secretes
glucagon.
Yes, secretes glucagon
sugar.
Hormone.
Hormone, sorry.
Glucagon hormone. Okay, so I'm كاتب له هنا glucose decrease.
Glucose sugar decrease
or decreases in blood.
Yes.
So pancreas
secretes insulin hormone.
Yes, secretes what?
Insulin hormone.
هنا لا بقى في حاجه بس يا امنيه. بنكرياس سكريت جلوكاجون هرمون جلوكوز. الجلوكاجون هنا increase.
لا مش فاهمه.
طب هقولها لك تاني عشان بس ايه ما تلخبطيش. انا هقولها لك تاني. بصي الدروينج بادئ معايا منين؟ انت قلتي انا هقول له الجلوكوز ماله؟
جلوكوز increase.
حلو. جلوكوز increase. when the glucose increase the pancreas secrete what?
Secretes glucagon hormone.
Secrete. لا secrete what?
insulin.
Yes, secrete insulin. طيب secrete insulin هرمون. Okay, so what?
Glucose sugar decrease.
Glucose sugar
decrease to the normal level.
Decrease, yes, decrease. So if glucose decrease,
pancreas secretes glucagon hormone.
Pancreas, yes, pancreas
secretes glucagon hormone.
Glucagon hormone. So glucose what?
Glucose sugar increase to the normal level.
So again and so on.
Yes.
As a circle, as you see. تمام. glucose increase, secrete insulin. Glucose decrease, so secrete glucagon to change glycogen into glucose in the blood. You understand completely أمنية؟
yes. يعني هي لو جات لي في الامتحان كده هرسم له الرسمة دي واكتب له
as a cycle, yes. بالظبط كده لازم أعملها له cycle according to the action of insulin hormone or an action of glucagon hormone. You have another question?
معلش
اتفضلي براحتك خالص.
هو برضو diagram.
Yes.
diagram عشان بيقول لي اللي هو feedback mechanism. Our relation between secretion of thyroid stimulating hormone and thyroxine hormone.
Thyroid و thyroxine hormone. Yes. So which one is called the master gland?
Pituitary gland.
Pituitary gland. So we start from pituitary gland. In this question we start from what?
Pituitary gland.
Okay. As you see in the screen at your home. هتبصي على الشاشة كده.
Yes.
هقول له كده. هكتب له pituitary gland. اهو. secrete.
Thyroid. Secretes thyroid stimulating
No,
hormone.
secrete hormone to activate عشان ينشط. Activate what?
Thyroid.
Yes. Thyroid
Gland.
Gland.
Yes.
So thyroid gland secrete.
Thyroxine.
Yes, thyroxine. Hormone.
Yes.
Excellent أمنية. يبقى we start number 1, number 2, And number 3, at the 3 steps, we have here a comment on this arrow, as you see.
Yes.
You understand? How can we answer?
Yes.
You have another one?
لا شكرا يا مستر.
أمنية خلصتي المذاكرة وبدأتي تراجعي؟
هو المفروض هبدأ أراجع إن شاء الله. أنا خلصت بس لسه هبدأ.
في أي مشكلة عندك؟ في أي اقتراح تحبي نعمله في الحلقات اللي جاية؟
لا بس أنا عايزة حلقات الساينس تزيد الصراحة.
طيب إن شاء الله بإذن الله هيكون في فترة هنكثف فيها الشغل. شكرا ليكي أمنية. Thank you very much. في أحمد خالد من سوهاج وبيقول اكتب تعريف أدق للمتفاعلات والنواتج. أنا مش عارف هو عربي ولا لغات.
Okay, as we can answer this question by 2 ways, Arabic and English. What is meant by chemical reaction? What is meant by chemical reaction? Chemical reaction, which means what? As we studied before in first prep, خدناها في أولى إعدادي في الفيرست ترم على فكرة. Breaking down the bonds between the reactants. Breaking down what? The bonds. الروابط. يبقى تكسير الروابط بين المتفاعلات and forming a new bonds between the products and form a new bonds between the products وتكوين روابط جديدة بين النواتج أو the resultants النواتج of the reaction. يبقى as in Arabic we can هنقولها بالعربي تكسير روابط بين المواد الداخلة في التفاعل وإنتاج روابط جديدة في المواد الناتجة من التفاعل. In English we can say breaking down the bonds between the reactants and form a new bonds between the products.
Yeah, okay. Another question. Give reason.
Give reason for.
Yeah. Magnesium can replace copper in its salt.
Salt, yes.
Yeah, solution. While the opposite is impossible.
Yes. So here we talk about the simple substitution reactions. As we studied before, magnesium can replace copper, but copper can't replace magnesium. As we studied, because magnesium is more active than copper in the chemical activity series. And we should remember we have some elements, many elements are inactive as copper or less active as copper. Gold, silver, platinum are less active. Any element above element can replace them in their salt solution.
Okay. Ahmed from Qina is back.
Okay. Hello, Ahmed.
Hello, Mr. How are you?
Fine. Your questions?
Okay.
اتفضل يا أحمد.
الكويشن الاول حضرتك يا مستر في الامتحانات في امتحانات المحافظات او في السكول بوك او في الاكسرسايز عموما بيجيب لي السؤال اللي هو بتاع جريجور مندري اللي هو اكسبلين اون جينيتيك بيزس. دلوقتي السؤال ده لما بيجيبوا لي اعرف انا ازاي اذا كان هو عايز الفيرست جنريشن او السكند جنريشن او بوث.
طيب according to the question أحمد you can read the question give me any one. اديني واحد منهم. يعني can you read any one of them?
اوكي.
تقدر تقرا اي واحد منهم تقوله لي دلوقتي؟
اوكي. just a minute.
Okay. So until Ahmed gets back to us.
تمام.
Yeah. The stopping of body growth so the person becomes
dwarf. Yes. So any a person becomes dwarf here due to decreasing of growth hormone from the pituitary glands.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Ahmed.
When a pea plant.
When a pea plant, yes.
That has a hybrid tall stem.
Hybrid tall stem. Okay, أنا معاك.
Is crossed with another.
Cross with another.
Has a short stem.
Short stem. طب أحمد short stem pure or hybrid?
لا short stem the recessive pure.
Excellent. لأن recessive trait appears if only the gene is pure. Excellent. Okay وبعدين؟
Has a short stem. This crossing.
يعني first parent tall hybrid. The second is short.
Short stem.
Short stem, yes.
This crossing produced individuals with a ratio of 50% tall to 50% short.
Okay.
Explain on genetic basis the genetic structure of parents and producing individuals.
حلو قوي. طيب.
Knowing that T captures.
ايه البروبلم بقى؟ خليك بس معايا يا احمد، ايه البروبلم بقى بتاعتك في الكويستشن ده؟ ايه اللي مش واضح فيه؟
دلوقتي انا اللي عايز اعرفه حضرتك، نعمل first generation ولا second generation؟
هو قال لي two first and the second generation في الكويستشن؟
لا.
طيب يبقى انا اتصرف من دماغي ليه؟ قال لي the ratio in the first قال لي in the offspring، يبقى اكيد عايز the first offspring. اوكي؟ as positive number any number is positive. صح؟ في الماث مش بنقولها كده؟ صح؟ برضه هنا في الجينيتكس if we say in offspring we mean here first generation. So by this problem أو by the genetic basis يبقى we have a problem here. Look at the screen، بص على الشاشة قدامك في التلفزيون هتلاقي parent T capital T small with T small and we have gametes here T capital T small with T small as we studied before, and we have the F1 which means first generation. Here we have T capital T small T capital T small T small and we have here T small. So we have what? We have ratio 2 to 2 which means ratio 1 to 1 which means 50% to 50% as percentage. You have another question Ahmed? Okay.
لو سمحت يا مستر حضرتك ممكن تقول لنا ايه الامبورتنت درونجز اللي ممكن تجينا السنه دي في الاند اوف يير؟
In what?
يعني في امتحان اخر السنه الامبورتنت درونجز اللي تيجي.
Important drawings.
As Omnia questions the effect of insulin hormone from pancreas according to increasing or decreasing the ratio or the percentage of sugar in blood.
اوكي.
انت كنت شايفهم انا بقولهم لأمنية؟ تمام. We have and we have drawing about or figures about the Ohm's law. You know Ohm's law? Resistance, rheostat.
equal V over R.
Yes, Ohm's law as a complete circuit. نرسم فيها كل حاجة. We have connection of ammeter, voltmeter. We have the problems of electric cells, parallel or series connection to obtain the value of the electromotive force of each one of them as according to parallel or series connection. You have another question, Ahmed?
the last one.
اتفضل.
Give reason for.
Give reason for.
Free air loop.
Free ear lobe.
Over the attached one.
حلو قوي. احمد بيسالني سؤال هو عارف اجابته. اقول لك ليه. بتقول لي free ear lobe is dominant over the attached ear lobe صح؟ طيب. يبقى over يبقى free ear lobe is what?
Free ear lobe is dominant.
Okay, dominant and attached ear lobe is
recessive pure.
So recessive and recessive appears only if the gene is pure. We know. So we can answer according one is over the other. So we have dominant and we have recessive traits. You understand, Ahmed?
Ahmed, can you see your ears lobe? Okay.
Can see your ears lobe? Maybe in mirror. We can see our ears lobe like that.
Okay.
أنا مش شايف ودني دلوقتي.
احمد قول لي انت بتتصل بينا كتير واحنا عارفينك كويس ما شاء الله عليك طالب متميز بس دايما بتقول لنا احمد ايه بقى عشان نبقى عارفينك.
احمد ابو بكر.
احمد ابو بكر. اوكي.
من هنا. طبعا محافظة هنا كلها مشرفانا يعني واحمد.
شكرا ليك احمد ابو بكر. ونرجع تاني. Are you ready for more questions?
Yes, as you like.
Yeah, okay. Another question. It says calcium oxide.
Calcium oxide.
Yeah, is used in civil service.
Yes, calcium oxide or calcium hydroxide. We can say both calcium oxide or calcium hydroxide. Both of them is used in civil works or civil industries. الحاجات المدنية يعني. أقول له like what? Like buildings. أقول له because calcium oxide or calcium hydroxide is used in cement mixture. You have another one?
Okay. Another regular color. Islam. من
الو ازيك يا مستر عامل ايه؟
أليكس. أهلا بك يا إسلام.
Islam has in Alexandria we have no simple goiter I think. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Your question Islam.
انا عندي سؤال بس.
اتفضل.
اوكي، طب ايه السؤال يا اسلام؟
مستر هو الكفر مش لما بيبقى participated بيبقى ريدش براون؟
ممكن reddish brown, brownish red or red.
ريدش براون ولا ريد؟ عشان في كتاب المدرسة لقيته ريد وفي كتاب خارجي لقيته ريدش براون.
Both is right. reddish brown يعني طوبي احمر بني محمر. Or brownish red يعني طوبي برضو. Or red. We can say brownish red or red. If we have only one reddish brown or brownish red or red precipitate in the syllabus is what?
الكفر.
Because we have other red substance in first lesson is mercuric oxide. Mercuric oxide is a precipitate. Hi Ahmed.
أنا إسلام.
اسلام.
Islam, sorry. Is reddish mercuric oxide 2HGO is red precipitate? Red but precipitate? No, because we have silver precipitate. It's mercury only and oxygen. So we have only one red precipitate or reddish brown or brownish red in the syllabus. ما عندناش غير راسب احمر واحد في المنهج اللي هو الكبر. اول ما اسمع كده يبقى مفيش غير كبر. due to the formation of copper.
طب مستر طب انا لو جالي في اللي تشوز دلوقتي ولقيت سؤال ريدش براون وريد اختار ريد؟
طب انت جالك سؤال قبل كده في ريدش براون وريد؟
في كتاب المدرسه في الفاينل ريفيجن اللي ورا.
تمام، لو لقيت ريدش براون وريد طبعا هي يعني مبدئيا مش هجي لك اخر السنه كده، مش هجي لك ريدش براون وريد لان فيها لخبطه جامده بالنسبه لكم. بس the more correct answer is red.
ماشي.
The more correct answer is what?
Red.
Because the in syllabus in the pupils book we have what precipitate? Red. So the more close to right is red precipitate.
ماشي مستر. وكان مستر حلقات الكمبيوتر الميس بتاعت الكمبيوتر ما خلصتش لسه المنهج وبدات مراجعه. فاحنا عايزين لو تمدنا الحلقات حبه عشان المنهج لسه ما خلصش.
خلاص اكيد مستر ياسر.
اوكي، هنبلغ الاداره.
ميس منيره اي ثينك
من اسكندريه. هنبلغ الاداره، هي الحلقات اساسا مسجله فهنشوف الموضوع ده. ممكن يكون في حصل اي لخبطه لكن ان شاء الله هنرد عليكم وهيكون في حلقات اكتر. شكرا ليك اسلام من اسكندريه. Okay, let us now carry on. We don't have much time left. Do you have anything to say or should I continue with the questions I have here?
We have how many minutes?
Like 2 minutes or so.
Okay, but I have to say to my dear students to make يعني 100% focus on the pupils book exercises. All questions from the pupils book. كل الأسئلة بتاعت كتاب الوزارة should be answered. لازم كلنا نجاوبها. And we have many questions are repeated with different styles. Maybe complete, choose, maybe right, wrong, correct, underlined, maybe give reason, maybe what happens, maybe problems. We have some types of problems as a genetic problems اللي هي الوراثة, and we have some physical physics problems as potential difference, electric current intensity, electric resistance, and at the same time we have problems with withdrawing about the electromotive force in the electric circuit as we connect in series or in parallel connection. فمع يعني يا ريت to make يعني 100% focus on the pupils book and not look backward or left side or right side on other books. After you finish the pupils book you can answer any question from any other source, but number one is what? Is pupils book.
Alright, كتاب
الوزارة. كتاب الوزارة. لأن في للأسف students بيعملوا إن هم يدور على كتاب خارجي يبتدي يحل منه. طب خلص كتاب الوزارة. خلصوا إذا قدرت تخلصوا. على فكرة we have about 6 tests at the back of the pupils book with يعني the 6 tests are answered, already answered. We have model answers at the back side of the pupils book. عندنا الحلول بتاعتهم ودي موجودة ورا. And any question from you have it or face any problem in any answer, like Ahmed from or Islam from Alexandria has some problems in questions. ask us in our program every Thursday. I hope.
All right. So now we're gonna be reviewing.
From these episodes to the last
each time. Okay.
Yes.
So
yes.
thank you very much, Mr. Mohammed Mahmoud.
Thank you, Yasser, for your effort in this episode.
They send us questions.
But you should. This is my mine.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, طبعا الأسئلة اللي موجودة النهاردة.
لا ماي لابتوب.
طبعا اللابتوب بتاعك.
الأسئلة لا مش مشكلة الأسئلة.
وطبعا الأسئلة اللي سألناها بخلاف الأسئلة اللي جات لنا كلها طبعا أكيد من
لا مش الكويستشنز. أنا عايز يهمني اللابتوب أخده وأروح.
اللاب بتاعك يعني ما تقلقش حاجة مش هاخده معايا. أنا معايا النوت بتاعي.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mohammed, for your great efforts throughout the year. And that brings us to the end of this episode. Dear students of the 3rd prep grade, we've had a general review. And each time we meet, inshallah, on the upcoming episodes, we'll be having more reviews. And the rerun will be at 6 a.m. الإعادة بتكون الساعة 6 صباحا. And don't forget to join our Facebook group مدرسة على الهواء ابتدائي وإعدادي. This is how you can contact us. And thank you all for watching. Thanks for all those who've called us during this episode and everybody who sent us some questions on our group. Thank you all, and until we meet you again, it's goodbye.